I just saw ChatGPT, you can integrate your Google Docs into that. And I've been getting notifications of Gemini wanting to integrate with everything. And so it's going to be a fight with AI if you're having multiple AIs looking at your things. So I'm curious how that's going to be. I know, like, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be here. I'm gonna kick you out of here. Google AI or ChatGPT. So that's kind of interesting. And you know, going a little on the dark side of what can happen is it's almost you're seeing, or you're going to see, such a massive separation between people who are integrated with tech and people who aren't. They're going to have such a vast, it's almost like, you know, they say, oh, when the rich get richer and the middle class disappear, you're just going to have big disparity between the rich and the poor. If certain things happen, you're almost going to see this happen as well with the tech. If you're just not involved with that, you're going to start getting way behind or just way out of, which could be good in some cases. Maybe you don't want anything to do with it. You want to go outside. You want to do something that's healthy. You don't want to just sit there and just AI coming at you at all different ways. But if you're not really utilizing it, I mean, what are you doing to your day-to-day? You go to your job, come back, you watch TV,
I don't know.
You eat, and that's
I'd
it.
I'd like to look at the other side of that. If you have people who are using technology and not using it correctly, and they're not, so you know of a lot of, I'm sure we all know of people who they'll use a computer, but they haven't used any of the NLPs yet. So you can imagine if we're starting to move off into an age of AI centralized in your actual operating system, which will happen, and which these new PCs, are sort of Copilot PCs, are going to offer, then it's going to sort of become a seamless transition. Everyone's going to use AI, whether they know about it or not. And I think it's just a case of, at the moment, we have to consciously adopt it, but I don't think it's going to be like that for long. It's going to be so interwoven in everything that, just by checking your email, you're not going to have a choice whether you want it or not. It's going to be in there suggesting that, I don't think you're responding to this person in a very nice way. Maybe you should change it. Like, how is it telling me this?
Corporate policy has detected that your language is inappropriate for this email.
Manipulation AI.
Don't worry, we've changed it. We intercepted your email and we've corrected it to be much more appropriate.
We've reworded it for you. Don't worry. It's really
exactly.
That's
funny.
So I'll add on a few points that I was just reading through the comments on the news articles around this. There's obviously big privacy concerns. So in the statement, it goes on to say, Microsoft admits that the feature performs no content moderation, meaning it will gobble up everything it sees, including passwords in a password manager, or your account numbers and your banking websites. And just to sort of follow on from that, like in any sort of Discord conversations that you're having or Teams chat conversations, it's going to be grabbing all of that. It's going to be pulling out all the text out of it and saving it to this single index. So previously, our privacy concerns have always been around specific applications. If we trust those applications or not, like, do we trust Edge? Do we trust Chrome? Do we trust Word? Do we trust, any kind of software that you're running on your machine, and you make those individual choices? But really now, all that data, all the privacy is just being, pulled out of all those applications into the central sort of OS repository of everything. And so there's a lot of privacy concerns around it, obviously, because what does that mean? It's now got everything about you, your passwords, where you've been, what websites you visited, who you spoke to, or your voice conversations could start getting recorded. And while this is currently only being stored locally on your machine, that's still a huge thing for anyone to try and get access to or be able to pull that out of your machine. They basically have a full, history of absolutely everything around you. So a lot of privacy concerns, obviously how Microsoft manages that. That's around security too, I guess. So let's say they do fix all of that, we'll figure out ways around that. I think they do already have ways you can turn off certain apps where it won't see it. But again, those are all like buried in settings that people are going to have to find or know those settings exist and manually go, no, don't look at my Discord, don't look at my Teams. These are work conversations that I want you to have access to, where most people won't do that. They won't be aware of that. So yeah, interesting concerns around that.